In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to assemble the exploding box that I designed in a previous video. I'll link that one down below. I got lots of requests for this video, so let's get into this video. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Leslie. My channel is all about crafting on a budget. I do Cricut, sublimation, and kit craft videos, so if any of those things interest you, please consider subscribing and joining my YouTube family, and let's get into this video. Okay, so these are all the pieces straight cut from my Cricut. So some of these pieces, like this one, you're gonna have to pop out all those smaller intricate parts because the Cricut might not do a good job of cutting those out. So I recommend having a little container where you can put all your little pieces as you cut them on your Cricut so that you don't lose them. So I have all my smaller pieces in here that I don't want loose, so I'm gonna leave those there for now. I have different types of glues depending on different things. I have the Zig two-way glue, and it's like this. You press down and glue comes to the surface. I have some tacky glue, some Craft Bond Elmer's glue. I have some foam squares, foam rectangles, and some double-sided tape. So we're gonna start by taking this bigger piece that we have here. This is gonna be the outer box. So you can see, hopefully the camera can pick it up, you have all your score lines, so you're just gonna fold those score lines inside like that. Okay, and then there's score lines also inside the hearts, so now you want to kind of just bend those inward like that. Okay, so this is our outer part. Now we're going to take this square that's going to go right inside of this one, and we're going to fold all the score lines as well. And this inner part here, you can see the Cricut, when it drew it, there's obviously no shading on the inside because I use a font or a typeface that isn't part of the writing in design space, writing fonts in design space. So what I like to do is I'll just take a black pen and I'll go and I'll fill that in, and you won't even be able to tell that it wasn't filled in to begin with. And you can have your Cricut draw with any color. It doesn't have to be a Cricut pen. You can use, I talked about this in my Dollar Tree video where I talked about all the craft supplies at Dollar Tree that I love, but they have some pens that are colorful and that you can also use to draw. Okay, so we folded this in. Now we're gonna take some, you can take glue or double-sided tape. I'm just gonna take double-sided tape because that's what's easier. And I'm gonna cut some double-sided tape to fit in there to kind of outline the bottom part. And by the way, I use 65-pound cardstock for everything for this box. Now you're gonna take it and you're gonna put it in the center of the square of the big piece, kind of like that, and then rub it to make sure that tape is in place. We have this lid. This is going to be the lid for the smaller one. So we're going to take this and we're going to do the same thing we did with the bigger one. We're going to fold in all the score lines. And now you can take double-sided tape and put them in there, or you can use glue, however you wish. I'm just going to take some double-sided tape, cut it extra small. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's on my finger. Cut it extra small, and you're going to place it. So you folded all the tabs in. You're going to place it on the outer part of the tab. And the reason for that is because it's going to go into this rectangular tab next to it, like that. So we're just going to do that for all of them. Okay, so this is going to be the box for this one. So that's just going to fit in there like that. And for this inner box, you can also design it to have wedges like this, which I think I should have done, but I didn't, but it's okay. This other lid is going to be for the big one. So this is going to be the outer lid for the whole exploding box. Just folding it like we did the smaller one. This one's going to be exactly like the smaller one. Okay, so this one's going to be for the outer lid. So I'm going to put this aside while we assemble the rest of our box. This is going, for this part, this is going to go up here. We're going to use some of these foam rectangles because this is going to be the easiest way to do that. And that's going to add some more dimension. So this one's going to be, we're going to do this one for, then this one, then this one. So this first one, you technically, for the first one, you can just lay that one down. So we're going to take our foam squares. I'm going to place them at the bottom of it. And this is just going to give it some more dimension to it, so it's not just completely flat. And then you can take off the backing. Make sure you have like a garbage can by you because you're going to be throwing out a lot of stuff while you're doing this. A lot of like the backing and stuff. Okay, so we're going to put this down. And there's your first layer. Now we're going to do the same to this, but you want to make sure that with this design, you want to make sure you're putting the right way, because there is, if you put it the other way, it is going to be different. So this is the second layer. Make sure that's even. And now we're going to do the third layer again, making sure that we're doing it correctly. Okay. And you can get these at Dollar Tree. So now we want to make sure we're putting the right one down. Okay, and you see that by using those foam squares, you have this dimension to it. So it's not just flat. I did take off the writing off of these. In the original design, I had writing on them, but I took it off just because I'm not doing this for anyone in particular, so I just want to be able to use it for someone else. So now we have that side, and you can write whatever you want on there, or you can have the Cricut write it before you cut it. Okay, so in order to pop out, I'm going to pop this one out with you guys, just because in case you want to know how to pop it out, you can take a weeding tool or any tool and just take it out, or you can use some tweezers and pop it out that way. So I'm just going to pop out the cake. And you want to make sure you do this gently because you don't want to rip it. So just push. Because once you have all these cuts in it, the paper is delicate. You know, this is light cardstock. It's 65 pounds. So you don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to finish doing this off camera, and I'm going to come back and we'll assemble the rest of it together. Okay, so I popped everything out of everything. Took me about 20 minutes or so to pop everything out. So now we're going to move on to the cake section. So this cake section has a little score line there. So we're going to fold that. And inside of this cake, we're going to put this other piece so that it will look like that, and there'll be some contrast there. So for this, you can just use some glue. And if my Sig pen was working, I would use this one, because this one I would just be able to put it around all these things. But it's not working, so I'm just going to use my Elmer's glue one. So I'm just going to put this piece into this piece. Like that. Kind of pressing down as I'm doing that. And pressing down in the front too, so I can get these little spots from all the swirls. So now we're going to take some more glue and we're going to close this whole thing up. And again, I'm just using my Elmer's glue. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab this back part and I'm going to press it down. So now our cake is almost done. So now we're going to take these little bows and we're going to put a little bit of glue and then we're going to glue them right here in between each section of the cake. And again, I'm just taking my Elmer's glue for this because it's just quick and easy. Okay, so just take it and glue it on. So I'm literally just taking the glue and putting it on there. Right there, make sure you're pressing down. Last one. There you go. And there you have your little cake. So now this cake has a little piece that we designed that is going to help it stand up when we open the card. And it has a little score line right here. So I just folded that back, and this top part, we're actually going to glue it or tape it. You can put double-sided tape to the back of this. This top part doesn't have a score line, but I'm just going to fold it anyways right there. So for this one, I have to be considerate of how the card is going to open, because we want this to fit inside of it, right? So it can't be... So I'm going to glue this, I'm going to tape this part up here. You can glue it, tape it, whatever you like. I'm just going to take some double-sided tape, put it right there, take the backing off, and I'm putting this on my cake. And then again, trying to see where my cake would stand. And now I'm going to take some double-sided tape. I'm putting that on the bottom part. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm putting it about right here. So it's going to stand like that. And let me see. Let me show you this way so you can see. It's going to stand like that. So now we're moving on to the letter part. So this part has this little like envelope, and this one's a little hard to kind of push out all the things. So as you see, like this side has some parts that are ripped or whatever, which doesn't matter because we're gluing this inside. So make sure that if you have any rips, it's towards the inside and not towards the outside. So we're going to take our Elmer's glue again. And I just have some paper under it so that it can be easier. So this one, sorry. So take some Elmer's glue, glue it up. And then you're going to put it in the inner part. What's nice about the Elmer's glue also is that you can reposition it a bit so that you can get it to be just the way you want. Like that. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. Take your glue all over it. Make sure you get every part of it. Readjust it if you need to. Okay, then push, push, push. Pressing it to make sure you got all that. Perfect. So now it looks like that. And when they open it, you'll have a little message in there for them. So to put this in there, you can, if you wanted to, write on it before you put it in there. And if you want it to have dimension like this one, so it's kind of even, you can put some of these on it so that it can be kind of even. You can have dimension on that one, dimension on this one. But make sure you write on it beforehand, because you don't, it's probably going to be harder to write on. Okay, so now we're just going to put it in the middle of this one, like that. And there's that one. Okay, so now we're going to move into the last aspect of this one. And for that one, we have this flower with all these inner pieces to it. So we're going to take our flower and we're going to glue it. I'm going to use Elmer's glue for this one. So now we have it glued. So we're just going to put it on the center of this one, like that. And now we're going to take all these smaller pieces. They fit into the flower. And you actually have to figure out which one they fit into, because they fit into a specific petal. Not all the petals are the same. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to figure out where all my pieces go. Okay, so I'm missing a piece somehow. I don't know where it went, but it's missing for sure. Okay, anyways, so on top of this flower, we'll just cover it with this. So on top of this flower, we're going to have this butterfly. So this butterfly, we're going to take our Elmer's glue again. And I'm just going to swipe my butterfly, make sure every aspect of it got some glue. And I'm going to take the blue and I'm just going to put my butterfly on top of that one. This butterfly originally has a crease in the middle. So you can go like this and then glue it down so it can have a little bit of dimension to it. I'm just going to take some glue and I'm going to glue this butterfly down over here. And it has a little bit of dimension to it. So that's how that one's looking. So now we're done with the inside of the box. We're going to move on to the lid. So on top of this lid, we're going to have a butterfly. So this butterfly is going to be glued onto this other one, and then we're going to glue it down to that. You could just glue down the body and then have the wings kind of like sticking up like that, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take some of our glue. Can even use our tacky glue since I haven't used it. And you can get this tacky glue at Walmart, Michael's, craft stores. Just putting a little bit on the body. And I'm gonna glue that to here. And now, because I folded in those wings, it has some dimension to it. So now we're going to take the whole bottom of this butterfly. I'm going to add glue to it. You could have glued the butterfly to the box first, but I didn't think about that. So we're going to put it in the middle of the lid. And I'm just going to press down. And this is how it looks. You have that beautiful dimension to it because of the butterfly's wings being folded up like that. But the butterfly is secure. So just make sure you press on the bottom part very well. So now that we have that, our box is all done. And we're gonna take it and you're gonna fold in these creases. So these the hearts go like this. Fold in like that. That's one side. And then this side folds in like that. Same thing. Make sure your creases are sharp. So this is how it looks. Okay. So now we're going to take our lid and you're going to put it in like that. And now our exploding box is finished. And it looks beautiful. I wasn't sure about the colors I used this time around. They're actually really pretty colors. They complement each other well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to assemble this exploding box. I got so many requests for it, so I'm glad I finally got to do it for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Join my YouTube family. Don't forget to let me know down in the comments any videos you want. If you haven't seen the video on how to create this exploding box, I'll link it down below. Go watch it. Let me know what you think about it. If paper crafts is not your thing and you just are here for sublimation, don't worry. There are a bunch. This whole month will be all sublimation videos except this one, so stay tuned for those. But in the meantime, go check out my sublimations playlist. It will be in the cards up above.